you. Today I am going to explain the remaining portion of the reflection of light at the plane surface. Conditions for a light ray to pass undeviated on reflection. A ray of light when passes from one medium to another, it passes undeviated only when there are two conditions. One, when the ray is striking normal to the surface. When the ray strikes normal to the surface, the angle of incidence is 0, therefore the angle of reflection is 0. So if the ray is striking perpendicularly to the surface, then the angle of incidence is 0, angle of reflection is 0, the ray passes into second medium undeviated. Second condition for the ray to pass undeviated is that the refractive index of both the medium should be the same. Okay, refractive index of both the medium should be the same. Mu1 equal to mu2. Then in that condition, angle I will be equal to angle R. Okay, the ray will pass undeviated. I will show this here. When a ray of light passes undeviated, this condition, angle I equal to angle R, only when mu1 equal to mu2. So ray will pass undeviated only when mu1 equal to mu2. In that condition, angle I will be equal to angle R. Okay. And the first condition, this is the second condition. First condition I have said angle I should be equal to 0. Angle I is equal to 0, then the ray will pass undeviated. The next point is relationship between wavelength in two media. So if a ray of light of frequency f and wavelength lambda suffers refraction from air to any other medium, then its speed will change and also the wavelength will change. The frequency will remain unchanged because the frequency depends upon the source. Frequency depends upon the source. So frequency will remain unchanged. So frequency, now in air, when the ray is traveling from air to any other medium, in air frequency is f, speed is c, wavelength is lambda. This is in air. In another medium, frequency remains the same. Speed changes to v and wavelength changes to lambda dash. Now we have the relation f is equal to c upon lambda, and from same relation f is equal to v upon lambda dash. Okay, so we have f frequency same in both the medium. So we create these equations 1 and 2. So we get f c upon lambda equal to v upon lambda dash. Now c upon v is equal to lambda upon lambda dash. Now c upon lambda is mu. Mu is equal to lambda upon lambda dash. So lambda dash is equal to lambda upon mu. This is the relationship between the wavelength in the second medium to the wavelength in the first medium. Okay. Now in most of the cases, when a ray is passing from air to any other medium, then the refractive index is greater than 1. So refractive index will be greater than 1, then the value of lambda dash will be smaller. If mu is greater than 1, then lambda dash will be smaller than lambda. Okay, if mu is greater than 1, then lambda dash will be smaller than lambda. What does this mean? When a ray of light travels from rarer to denser medium, if the speed decreases, then the wavelength will also decrease. travels from nearer to denser medium, if the speed decreases, that is the speed decreases, then the wavelength will also decrease. So this can be found out by the relation lambda dash equal to lambda upon mu. Next we have factors affecting the refractive index of a medium. So the refractive index of a medium depends on the following factors. The first one, nature of the medium. Nature of the medium is on the basis of the speed of light in that medium. So we have a relationship between the refractive index and the speed of light in a given medium. The mu is equal to C upon V. Here, mu equal to C upon V. Refractive index is the ratio of the speed of light in air to the speed of light in given medium. So this is a relationship. Now, if the speed of light is less in the medium, more is the refractive index. Okay. If the speed of light is less in a given medium, more is the refractive index. This is seen by, like for example, we have V in glass is 2 into 10 raised to power 8, and mu is equal to 3 into 10 raised to power 8 upon 2 into 10 raised to power 8 equal to 1.5. And a V in water is 2.25 into 10 raised to power 8, then mu is equal to 1.33, that is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 upon 2.25 into 10 raised to power 8, that is 1.33. So mu is equal to C upon V. If the speed of light in the medium is less, more is the refractive index. जितनी कम स्पीड होगी उतना ज्यादा रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स होगा. यहाँ पर वाटर में स्पीड ज्यादा है, रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स कम है. वो कितना है 1.33. ग्लास में स्पीड कम है, रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स ज्यादा है 1.5. Okay. Then the next thing, it depends upon the temperature. Second point is temperature. On the temperature, with the increase in temperature, the speed of the light in the medium increases as the refractive index decreases. Temperature के साथ क्या होता है? Temperature के proportional क्या है? Speed. Temperature will increase, speed will increase. As a result, refractive index will decrease. So, with the increase in temperature, the speed of the light in a given medium increases. As a result, the temperature decreases. Then the third one is wavelength. Wavelength of light that is used. Normally when we are talking about light, we are talking about white light. Now white light is made of a large number of wavelengths, and we consider it as all traveling in the air the same speed. So they are appearing to be white light. Otherwise, the range is from 4,500 to 8,000 angstrom. So it is made up of large number of wavelengths. You must have seen an example rainbow splits up into different constituent colors. Now, different wavelengths have got different refractive indexes. Why? Because we know that V is proportional to lambda. V equal to F lambda. And F is constant that depends upon the source. So lambda and V, they are proportional to each other. Now we had just now seen a relationship lambda upon lambda dash equal to lambda upon mu. So all those wavelengths in the given medium, the speed of red color is maximum. Therefore, the refractive index for red color is minimum. Okay, the speed of red color is maximum. Refractive index of red color in that medium is minimum. What does it mean? Red red color bends the least, and the speed of violet color is minimum. Speed of violet color is minimum. Therefore, the refractive index of violet is maximum. सबसे ज़्यादा bending किसकी होगी? Violet की. Okay. So, in a given medium, when the different wavelengths are there, all wavelengths are right, starting from red to violet, red will bend the least and violet will bend the maximum. So next we have principle of reversibility of path of light. If a ray of light travels from one medium to another medium, it bends towards the normal. If the ray of light is moving from medium 1 to medium 2 and medium 2 is optically denser than medium 1, then it will bend towards the normal. Now the same ray, if it retraces its path, it goes back on the same path, then it will move in the same direction. It will follow the path OA. So let us take medium 1 and medium 2 that are separated by this line. Then a ray of light strikes AO and is moving to a denser medium 2. Then it will bend towards the normal. Now this ray is again going back. Then it follows the path BO follows the path back OA. This is known as principle of reversibility of light. So first instance we will see that the ray of light moves from the first medium to another medium. From the law of reflection of light, this is equal to sin I upon sin R. So it is when the ray is moving from medium 1 to medium 2. Next, the ray is moving from medium 2 to medium 1. Then this angle will be taken first, sin R upon sin I. We multiply them sidewise. What do we get? 1 mu 2 into 2 mu 1 equal to 1. Because sin I cancels out, sin R cancels out. So 2 mu 1 is equal to 1 upon 1 mu 2. What does it mean? In simple word, if A mu G is 3 by 2, that is when a ray of light is travelling from air to glass, then the refractive index is 3 by 2. Then if the ray travels from glass to air, then the refractive index will be 2 by 3. This shows the principle of reversibility of path. The portion that is their experimental verification of law of reflection and determination of refractive index, they are the practical work. So when we will be doing practical, we will be explaining them. I will show you in this video only how we will be seeing the reflection of light in glass slab. Dear students, I am going to show you how the reflection takes place. I have told you that whenever a reflection is taking place through a glass slab or any transparent medium, you get both the refracted ray as well as the reflected ray. So here I have placed a glass slab, and this is a normal to the glass slab, and this is incident ray. Okay, so this ray is an incident ray. Now see, watch here. See. Now what can you see? You can see here another ray that is passing out. This is refracted ray. The ray has already passed out from the medium. It is striking this here. And another ray, this is here. This ray is returning back. So this is partially refracted ray. This ray is partially refracted ray. And this is partially reflected ray, and this is refracted ray. Okay. Now I'll place this point here. This is the point. The ray is going here in this direction, and I'll locate this point here where the ray is obtained. I'll place these 2 points. Okay. So we are joining the points that were falling on the refracted ray. So we are getting this point. Now we draw a perpendicular here. This is perpendicular which is normal, and join this point, these 2 points. What does we find? We are seeing that the ray that has moved out is bent towards the normal. The ray has gone towards the normal. If I would have put the ray here like this, then it would have gone like this. You can see the ray is moving on this. It is a separate path. But when placed a glass slab here, then it deviated from its path. Now it is moving toward on this line. So reflected, when the ray passes through the glass slab, it bends towards the normal, and bending is seen. The second thing that I want to show you, that when a ray of light strikes normally to a surface, it passes undeviated. So this is a normal. I am placing a ray like this, normal. See, it is passing undeviated. There is no deviation in this light, straight line. If I put the point here at this point, it will be a straight line. So just put the point. You can see the ray is striking normally to the surface. So this is another ray that I have drawn normal. So it is also passing through the same path. This shows that when a ray of light strikes normally to the surface, it passes undeviated. Now I am going to show you another experiment where if the mirror is placed behind the glass slab, then we get multiple images formed. Okay, so you will get a multiple images formed when the mirror is placed beyond the glass slab. Now you can see there is a mirror that has been placed behind the glass slab. Now if you look at the image that is formed, so we are getting multiple images. First reflected ray, this is, then the ray goes back and is reflected back into the same medium. The first image that is formed is the brightest image that is there, and then you can see number of images that are formed here. Okay, so this is image, one image, then the images in between, and then they keep on getting fainter and fainter. Is it clear? So there are number of images that are formed. Now the ray of light, see, ray of light when strikes back, there are multiple images that are formed. This is true when we take a thick glass plate or thick glass. So thick glass is considered as part of above layer are considered transparent medium, and the last surface is taken as mirror, and then you get multiple images that are formed. So you can see multiple images. All this is brightness, you can see here. So this is reflected ray, then you get a image here, and then this image. Okay. Now see the deviation produced by the glass slab. So you can see the image here this side. Okay, you can see the image, the emergent ray here. You can see the emergent ray that has passed out from the glass slab. Now I am removing the glass slab. You just see the shift in the ray. Once I am removing the glass slab, you see where this point has shifted. See. So this is lateral displacement. This much is the lateral displacement. I will draw a ray here like this. It will be shifted from this part. Earlier it was focused here. Again, see here. See, it is on the drawn line. Okay, it is on the drawn line. And if this glass slab would not be there, then the ray would have gone in a straight path and would have shifted in this path. So this is the lateral displacement that has been produced out in the path of the ray when glass slab is placed or when the ray passes through a transparent medium. Okay. Now by these experiments, I hope you must have understood what do you mean by refraction. Refraction is bending of light ray when it passes from one medium to another medium. So this takes place only when the ray moves from one medium to another medium. Like here, I have shown the ray has moved from air to glass, and you have seen that it bends towards the normal when it enters the denser medium. And I have also shown you the lateral displacement produced out by the glass slab. The emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray produced. I hope it is clear to all of you.